Well, one of the things I really pride myself on with this channel is not just following what everyone else is talking about, but highlighting stories that I think are really, really important. And you'll notice in recent months, I've highlighted time and time again this very extreme policy that the Spanish left-wing government chose to put in place, this amnesty for illegal migrants. Talked about 500,000 illegal migrants in Spain. Then it was feared by the authorities it could be 1 million. In actual fact, 1.2 million almost applied for legal status in Spain. And I said time and time again, this would of course, as well as being fundamentally unfair, would act as a massive pull factor for illegal migrants looking to go to Spain, looking to get into Europe. And by the way, in terms of what the Spanish people make of the socialist government, don't forget the socialists are getting smashed at every recent election pretty much in Spain. So the Spanish people already weren't exactly happy with the government. But what we have seen, sadly, is the end result of this completely irresponsible policy. It is, and I don't see how anyone can avoid the use of this term now, an invasion. That at least 60,000 people crossed into Spanish territory from Morocco in a single day. This being in Ceuta, complete and utter chaos, tens of thousands of people in a single day entering illegally. And you can see here the contradiction that the Spanish authorities now saying they'll expel those who entered illegally, whilst the government has put in place a mass amnesty for illegal migrants in Spain. Well, thank you so much to Outskill for sponsoring today's video. And we did recently see an example of how powerful AI is becoming when Anthropic had to pull one of their models off the internet, Claude Fable 5. Now, the ban was lifted and Fable 5 came right back online. But this shows you the sort of power you're seeing sitting inside Claude at the moment. And so that's why you should consider joining the Claude Mastery Sprint. This is a full deep dive into Claude. Now, this will be taking place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. A huge number of people across the world have already gone through this. And in 2 days, you'll run deep research with Claude, build your own artifacts and dashboards, connectors that automate boring stuff, even your job search. And you'll get hands-on with Claude Code. And if you sign up now, you'll also unlock 3 bonuses, 50 secret Claude codes, and a complete AI prompt library and a personalized AI toolkit builder. 2 days could change the next 2 years. Sign up for your seat before they run out. See the link below this video, and indeed you can scan the QR code on screen now. And the desperate government of Ceuta put out this message, which I thought was very striking.
Voy a dar lectura al acuerdo adoptado en el día de hoy por la Junta de Portavoces, un acuerdo que ha sido adoptado por unanimidad de todos los portavoces. Dice así: la Junta de Portavoces, en reunión extraordinaria y urgente, celebrada en el día de hoy, 30 de julio de 2026, atendido el salto cualitativo que se ha producido en la persistente entrada masiva de migrantes en nuestra ciudad, agravado en las últimas horas por la entrada a pie, sorteando el Espigón del Tarajal y de manera igualmente masiva, considera urgente e inaplazable la adopción por parte del Gobierno de la Nación de las siguientes medidas. 1. La declaración de emergencia nacional al amparo de lo previsto en la normativa sobre seguridad nacional. 2. El refuerzo de los cuerpos y fuerzas de seguridad del Estado y el despliegue del Ejército para garantizar la inviolabilidad de la frontera y la seguridad ciudadana. 3. El cierre de la mencionada frontera. Al mismo tiempo, queremos transmitir al conjunto de la ciudadanía serenidad y calma. No es la primera vez que Ceuta se ve en una situación límite como la actual, pero, como en las anteriores, también en este caso la sociedad ceutí volverá a dar y está dando un ejemplo de madurez, solidaridad y entereza. Juntos y unidos saldremos adelante.
Es que el Gobierno de España va a utilizar todos los resortes del Estado, todos los recursos del Estado, para garantizar la seguridad de los ciudadanos ceutís, por supuesto también la convivencia en la ciudad autónoma de Ceuta, además de lo que siempre hemos venido desplegando durante estos últimos años, que es un compromiso rotundo, total, inequívoco del Gobierno de España con el presente y el futuro de la ciudad autónoma de Ceuta. No ha habido un gobierno que haya invertido tal cantidad de recursos económicos en inversiones estatales como el actual gobierno en la ciudad autónoma de Ceuta.
We've also seen a response right across the world, including right here at home from Nigel Farage.
It's time to wake up, everybody. No, I really mean it. Just have a look at these scenes. This is happening today in Quetta, the Spanish enclave in North Africa. Yep, it is Spanish territory. Tens of thousands, maybe more, breaking in to that little part of Spain. The authorities seemingly powerless to act, and yes, of course, they've declared a state of emergency. Bear this in mind. Earlier this year, Spain gave an amnesty to 500,000 people who'd illegally got into the country. The messages from Spain are clear. You know, come in and you'll be allowed to stay. Some of you might remember a poster I put out 10 years ago called Breaking Point, where I showed vast numbers illegally breaking into the European Union. I made the point that if we vote for Brexit, we'll have the power to stop those people coming here. Sadly, the Tories failed us, Labour have failed us. Believe me, unless we get a reform government, those scenes you're seeing in Spain today, many of those young men, lots of them dangerous, will be heading towards Calais and coming to our country too. It is time to wake up. This is a battle for the future of our civilization. I can't put it any more plainly than that.
And of course, this had massive ramifications because you've got European Union open borders, and you've seen the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni speaking about this, saying that uncontrolled illegal immigration poses a concrete threat to the security of Europe's borders. And going one further, the Italian government deciding to suspend free movement in terms of Schengen and maritime and air connections with Spain, describing that as an extraordinary measure, but a measure that Italy was going to take. Jordan Bardella of France, ally, of course, of Marine Le Pen, directly they're linking the policy, the amnesty policy for illegal migrants, to what Spain sadly is now seeing, this absolute chaos. Senior German politician Manfred Weber again highlighting that this is the consequence of the pull factor from the Spanish government's own policy. And you also had the US President Donald Trump speaking out on this. Please watch this and let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below.
You know, I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger, much easier to get into, despite the fact that we have built thousands of miles of wall, which I said we were going to do, but we didn't have that, forget it. We have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time. And when I watched it, I said, boy, I'm going to say it because I knew you were going to be at Camp David. And I say, that's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do. And it's happening again today. They're coming in by the tens of thousands. They're just invading the country. And what that is weak law, bad management, but very liberal law. They passed a couple of laws, and people read. You know, people are smart. They read from other countries, and they swam that 3-mile swim, or however they got in, but nobody's seen anything like it. That will look good compared to what's going to happen to the United States. The biggest thing, the worst thing that Biden did is allowing 25 million people into our country.